Hey guys, I want to read you guys a bedtime story today, so you guys can just sit back and relax. Maybe grab a cookie if you can right now, and a glass of milk, and just have a little snack. Because the book's really good. So, the book's actually called The Book of Irony, Volume 2, Part 5. This edition's on Shakespeare, and the story in question is Othello. So, here we go. Chapter 1. Oh wait, there's a prologue here, which kind of describes some important words. Dramatic irony, which is irony that is inherent in a speech or a situation of a drama that is understood by the audience but not the character. So there's a verbal irony. It's a figure of speech in which what is said is opposite of what is meant. And situational irony, which is the outcome of what is expected is quite different than what actually happens. Chapter 1. Once upon a time there was a fairy who lived in a magic land, who was bored with reading boring books. Man, they were so bland. So she created irony with 4 flicks of her magic bow staff to add suspense and character development and interest and occasional laugh. Then one foggy Christmas night, with magic in the air, a man named Shakespeare came along in his underwear. He wrote a play called Othello, which used irony in tragic form that shaped and impacted and propelled the story forward, which was his norm. Chapter 2. Return of the Fairy. Years later, the fairy returned in a bright, flashy shine to Earth to see how her creation worked out, her precious, her Frankenstein. She was pleased and real glad to find it used, and grinned from ear to ear. She tapped her heels and giggled, "Tee-hee! Oh, I must tell someone. Indeed, I must." So she grabbed a kid quite near and said, "Sit down, son. We're gonna have a chat. I'm gonna teach you a little something about something I made." So on a big comfy couch they sat. "Actually," the fairy said, as she sat back comfortably, "this story would best be told via Aaron." Oh hey, that's me.
Again in Act 1, Iago says thy friend and noble heart to Roderigo. This, of course, is considered verbal irony, because Iago does not actually think Roderigo has a noble heart or is his friend, since he is trying to take advantage of him. This shows us the manipulative powers and deceitfulness of Iago, and how sly he is with his language. This is reinforced throughout the play to develop Iago's character. In Act 2, Iago proclaims as I am an honest man. The audience knows Iago is not an honest man. Shakespeare uses this to show us that Iago is perhaps unafraid to lead to achieve his goals. These words not only help build his character, but also show us that the other characters are fooled by him. In Act 3, Desdemona says, "But my noble Moor is true of mind, and made no such baseness, as jealous creatures are." However, as she is saying this, the audience sees that Othello is in fact insanely jealous and is accusing her for cheating. We see that Desdemona is extremely trusting of Othello, at least old Othello, and does not think anything is wrong until it's too late. Oh, one of my favorites, Iago famously says, "Oh, beware, my lord, of jealousy. It is the green-eyed monster who doth mock the meat it feeds on." It is ironic because Iago is talking about Othello and his jealousy. However, he is also a jealous monster, and foreshadows his own downfall as well. In Act 4, it says, "Oh, thou art wise, 'tis certain." Othello says this about Iago. Again, we fear for Othello, and, as the audience, we want to yell out and tell him to be careful. Shakespeare incorporates us into the play. It makes us nervous for Othello, as well as showing us how far Iago has fooled Othello. In Act 5, Othello says, "Yet she must die, else shall betray more men." Again, the audience knows that Desdemona is innocent and Othello has gone into uncontrollable rage. We have to watch helplessly as Othello has his way. The handkerchief is also a symbol of irony. It was the first gift from Othello to Desdemona, as a symbol of love and faith and honesty. It is even quoted that she reserves it evermore about her to kiss and talk to. While it was meant to be their token of love, it turns into the symbol that sends Othello into her age. The entire play can also be considered ironic. Othello at first was discriminate as the Black Moor, where everyone else was cruel, and he was righteous. It turns out he is the one of the most vile characters,